Well, I've developed my approach since yesterday. And not only now I've got the curtains closed in here, but I've got the blinds drawn in the kitchen. It's been brilliant. Obviously, shenanigans, as we all know. Like I said, it's another average day. There's been a whole heap of shenanigans and drug-ins, and it's just big wow and all that sort of thing. Yeah, well, that's the way it is, isn't it? And it's pretty boring stuff. I mean, if you go over the course of my videos, you will see why I see it as boring. You will see why it's just like, like I said, it's just an average day. But not so average, actually, because I managed to watch a couple of films. I got Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Didn't bother watching it. I've never got through that film. I've never been remotely interested in it. It looks really crap whenever I start to watch it, and I've never made it through it. I don't think I ever will. I suppose it's for real film buff sort of thing, but not for me. But I did watch parts of The Jazz Singer, partly because it was the first talkie. And I do remember, I'm pretty sure on the People's Century that I included the opening sequence of, or an edited version of the opening sequence of a while back. I'm pretty sure in that series, someone said that a British woman said that the British audiences couldn't understand the transatlantic accent that was used in the early talkies. They just couldn't make head nor tail of it, which I thought was quite interesting. And now these days it's just second nature, for even though it's not a transatlantic accent anymore. It's just second nature to British audiences to hear that stuff. But yeah, not a really interesting film. Obviously, drugging's going around it to try and, this, that, and whatever, the shenanigans and druggings and so on and so forth. But then I'd got onto a film that I've tried to watch before but never really made it through. It Happened One Night with Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. It's actually a pretty good film, probable edits, obviously, I'd have guessed. Even though I wasn't, really paying much attention to whether they were or weren't, I just wanted to watch the film. And it was a really good film. 1934, I think it's, what is it? 7 years after Talkies first came out, and the amount of development that had happened in those years was quite something to see. Yeah, good film. Apparently it was genre defining, and to my viewing, it was far more. There were parts of it that were far more intelligent, far smarter than stuff I've seen, where films that had that template, if you like, had shown that I've seen. Some really, a few scenes that made me think, yeah, that's I don't know what audiences were like back then and what it says about audiences today. But the people making films back then, with that film in particular, really knew their stuff. But yeah, during it, of course, you won't have heard a siren going on. During it, of course, there was a siren blared out for whatever reason. And during the watching of the film, You know, not so much as what happened with the jazz singer, where there were a whole heap of drug-ins, but at one point in the film, there was just this massive dose of covert drug-ins that also covert sort of thing. I ain't got a clue why. I didn't. You know, that's their business. You know, take it up with them if you're interested in that sort of thing. Me. I just thought, well, what the fuck, and just carried on watching the film. But yeah, also towards the end, and we get this with music as well, don't we? As you'll know, I had the attempt to manufacture an emotional state. Why? Or more likely because I looked up a few things. That's probably bullshit anyway. About the technicalities behind the film. You know, I was really interested in that sort of side of things. But yeah, as what happens at times with music, even though I've made it quite clear what I think of music, what I think of popular music, you know, and having developed an approach to it that I much prefer, that I won't bore you with, but it is quite interesting actually. But anyway, yeah, there's similar type drug-ins that you'll get to try and engineer a certain sort of emotional state that I just wouldn't really have. Maybe during the amalgam years, that sort of emotional state, you know, I wouldn't have been aware that it was being manufactured. But it's as clear as day now, and it's just like, you fucking having a laugh. Again, more attempts this evening to manufacture thought processes and all sorts of stuff. It's just you just get on with your day to the best of your ability. So yeah, so today, I had a shower as well. After 5 days, I had a shower. You know, I was loud. I'll have you know the motivation to have a shower, and you know, so today also has been a time to laugh off, you know, so many attempts to run around and engineer shenanigans left, right, and centre. Not least because the lead up to this bank holiday weekend, there have been so many attempts to engineer this, that, and whatever. That, like I say, if you have watched my videos over time with a critical eye, you'll see, you know why you may begin to grasp why I can just laugh this stuff off now. Obviously, like I had this morning when I went to bed, there were quite intense drug-ins around that. That is going to continue to take place. My guess is that if Architect Power isn't permanent, it's damn close to being permanent, sort of thing. And that sort of thing is just going to keep going. Could well keep going on. But yeah, quite a significant attempt. What did I call it once? To try and shrink wrap me. To try and rigidly fit me into some sort of packaged what would I call it? Product, if you want. I mean, if you want to look at the medium as a message and stuff like that, and the institutional model of mental distress, some sort of package that's that makes sense for maybe a dumbed down audience. I don't know what this audience is like. That view that actually has any interest in this whatsoever. But yeah, a day, yeah, been quite good today actually, for me. You know, like I said, there's been this quite concerted effort. yet again, how many times has this process gone on, and how many times will it continue to go on? Probably this attempt to package me or categorise me, like I said about one of these thinkers that said just internally at the very least, just sort of thing, yeah. Hey, but yeah. But yeah, over time, like I say, I've gone on top of so much of this crap that's been going on that it is, you know, yeah, and it has helped. It's been great to like just sort of get on top of that type of stuff. But yeah, it's helped in no small part, despite the the increase in the drug-ins and so on and so forth, that you would have expected. After I close the curtains in here, shut the windows, so we've had attempts to engineer my thinking, my moods, this, that, and everything, and try to engineer this, that, and whatever. Off the back of stuff, and again, it's gone nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It's just the same old gags again and again and again. It's stuff that's just so fucking boring to me. But it is interesting to just observe these techniques. Like, for example, at the end of the film It Happened One Night, the attempt, like there has been around music at times, to try and engineer an emotional response. I just wouldn't have. Why would I have the type of responses that were attempted to engineer, that there was an attempt to engineer? It just, it beggars belief, if you do watch my videos with a critical eye, that such things do get attempted. It's just what it is, I suppose. But yeah, It Happened One Night. Great film, well worth watching. And I'm stuck for another film to watch. I did remember a film called The Shooting Party, but I can't get a decent Blu-ray or DVD off Amazon. I'll be very surprised if it was available anywhere. But I seem to remember it. I think it's got a pace to it that I quite liked when I watched it. At the time, I found it pretty boring, but I'm older now, and I may see things in the themes that I quite like. It was okay back when I watched it. It may be a lot better now for me to watch, so I wouldn't mind getting hold of it, but. Nowhere is it available. But yeah, some good of the some good actors that were around back then. It seemed establishment actors, but great actors as well. There was a reason for that lot to be establishment actors. But yeah, wouldn't mind watching that again, just to see if I do get anything extra out of it. But yeah, that's pretty much been the day so far. Yeah, like I said, watching the jazz singer with Al Jolson, the first talkie, 1927. There were druggings going off left, right, and centre to try and engineer my thoughts and all the rest of it. And then when that don't quite work out, they try to get emotional states I wouldn't have either. And then after watching that film, and then diving in with a whole heap of druggings and preceding that, coming out with the sirens and all the rest of it. And yeah, and it just looks like, I'm going to have to get used to the fact that there's going to be that my way of dealing with things is never going to be accepted, and even though oh, anyway, yeah. But like I say, you just get on with your day, don't you? I mean, I don't think they're that daft, the people at the ad agency, the people at the head of the institutional model of mental distress, all the rest of it. But yeah, to have dived in while I was watching it happen one night, the way they did does well. I've mentioned it before. These are things I don't really need to say, but if they keep happening, then you have to say, well, you know, sort of thing. And chicken jalfrezi tonight. Tesco will put up to faffing about with it, obviously, the fat bastards and elephants type stuff of going over letters and all that I sort of covered in my last video. Did you feed it? Sort of thing. So sort of just saying, well, you know, it's bullshit, that sort of thing. Going way back. You know, I'd argue, you know, other people may have a different argument. Well, you're welcome to it. If I want to disagree with you, I'll disagree with you. You know, it's a free country. Yeah, is it? I shouldn't say that. But yeah, it is. To me, it's a free country. So, yeah. But yeah. So like I say, you just get on with your day. You know, people running around with this, that and whatever, and you know, and then doping you up off the back of this, that, and whatever. I did actually point that out at one stage. It was only a matter of time earlier on. I can't remember the stimulus or the test that was put, or however you want to put it. But sure enough, soon after, that tends to be one of the atomic habits. That there'll be a stimulus, a drug in, a stimulus, a drug in, and so on and so forth. That's what it is. I suppose it's also for Leslie Joyce to do on the doll. But yeah. I'm watching the shooting party. Again, you know, it's just something I wouldn't mind watching. It just sprang to mind. I do remember it being a measured film, a film with a good pace to it. I wouldn't mind watching. But yeah. Tonight, I don't actually know what I'm going to do. I meditated just before this. Good session as well. You know, like I said, and I think the reason why, even though this could change quite rapidly at any stage, because I have got back, and even when I enter this room, I just don't look at the traffic or anything, because I know pretty much they're only going to dope me up off the back of it and then try to run around doing this, that, and whatever. And the proof of the pudding's in the eating. When I don't even look at them, they're still trying that type of stuff. And it's just like I said, you just pretty much laugh it off and get on with stuff. You get it in perspective and you get on with stuff. But yeah, should be interested next time I go for a coffee. But anyway, yeah, that's about that for now.